check it out.
You guys were in the process of making all that happen. You had a good friendship come out of it. And if I remember correctly, Tom was the first one to move to Nashville.
Tom was already making inroads to Nashville like early on in the process. Like he was coming to Nashville to play gigs on the weekends.
That's so cool.
Like he was going out. He would drive here or he would fly out from Gainesville, get on a tour bus, do the gigs, come back to town. Tom's always got like a million irons in the fire. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know either. Yeah. He really does.
He's super busy all the time. Mm-hmm. He was always busy back then. And then he made the move, and I think Chris was soon after that. Mm-hmm. And I kind of hung out in Gainesville for another couple of years after that and just was languishing in it was really dark. It was a dark period for me. I was just drinking way too much, not forwarding the career aspect of anything at all, just making money in bars.
You felt like you were probably really stagnant.
I was, and I was really drunk and bloated too. And so
I've been there too.
Yeah. So, Chris and Tom were both in my ear. I remember Chris telling me, exactly these words exactly. You got to move to Nashville. You'll make the same living or maybe better, but you'll be doing way cooler things than you're doing in Gainesville.
I think that's a cool way to put it.
It was a great way to put it. Yeah. And he wasn't wrong.
Things.
He wasn't wrong. Mm-hmm. So I moved here and they both had a gig with this guy, Chuck Wicks.
Yeah.
And Chuck was in need of a second guitar player. And so they were in Chuck's ear about it. And when I moved to town, it almost unheard of. I got this gig with Chuck. Chuck wasn't touring regularly. He was, he had enough gigs to kind of keep me, to make me feel like I hadn't made a bad decision moving to town.
Sure.
And we were playing the Opry a lot, which was, for me, I never dreamed in a million years I'd play the Grand Ole Opry.
I think I heard of that place. I heard of that place, right?
It sounds
that
familiar.
was, had you told me 5 years earlier that I'd be playing at the Grand Ole Opry in excess of 20 something times since I've been here, I would have been like, fuck you, there's no way. That's not my thing, right?
But that's fantastic. That's what people come to Nashville to do.
Well, right. And I know some people that move here and never get to do that.
Exactly.
And so the fact that I did that, Chuck was an Opry favorite, still is, I think. So for me to get to play the Opry, and I've played the Ryman as well a bunch of times with him. So
cool.
it's, those experiences are, you don't get paid much to do it, but it's I would do that for free. That's the stuff that really makes you feel like you're on the right path.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't your dad and mom come to see you?
They did. Chuck got them. It was the second time I played, and they managed to time it out. We didn't get much notice on those Opry gigs, unfortunately. Okay. So Chuck would be like, "Hey, how about this Wednesday?" So my parents were flexible enough with what they were doing, and so they managed to make it into town. And they came, and it was great because my mom used to listen to the original Opry on the radio when she was a little girl.
Hell yes.
So Chuck was kind enough to get them backstage passes and, got them access and everything. And my dad was like a kid in a candy store. He was walking around talking to all the Opry house musicians. And my mom was, they were taking it all in. I think for me, we rehearsed in my parents' basement for all the early years. And so they put up with a lot of shit from me. And I think during the years I lived in Gainesville, I think they were probably, for good reason, were probably very worried about me and worried about my well-being and whatnot, and worried about what's this kid doing with his life, kind of thing. But I saw it on their faces at the Opry. I saw incredible relief. I saw pride, but I saw incredible relief. Oh, our kid's okay. He's
going to be good.
He's doing all right, and they're so proud of it. And so, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I got that opportunity for them to do that. It was one of my favorite things that's ever happened to me.
Oh, that's so
having them backstage. Yeah,
that's so great to hear.